Alright YouTube, as promised, I have a Batman series vlog. So, start with this first drawing, which, it's not a sketchbook tour, but I do want to show this drawing off. It's Val Kilmer's Batman Forever, so that explains the little question marks and coins, because Two-Face and Riddler will be mentioned in this vlog. I'm kind of doing this pitch on the go, but I do want to talk about, my ideas for the DCU Batman, and I admit I sort of got some of these ideas, or the general idea, from an Instagram artist named JS Comic Art. I'll leave his link in the description below, but he proposed that since, we have basically two Batman universes in one, that they need to be very different from, the Batman Matt Reeves, Robert Pattinson's Batman universe, and James Gunn DCU Batman got to be different, which I do agree with, and I think it's the perfect opportunity, and I agree with the user that, to introduce a Batman series, because while it makes sense that we haven't really seen a Batman TV series or a streaming series, that, I don't know, I think two live-action cinematic universe Batman is sort of a no-go, so I think Batman series is a perfect idea, and I'll talk about some of the castings I have, but one thing I do really want to see in this movie is, or this series, my apologies, and, I'll talk about Matt Reeves' Batman movies later on in this vlog, because, gotta tie them both in, but maybe it's a little bit of a niche, but there's this episode of Arrow that features a character who's a popular, not really popular, but mostly featured in Batman, called Firefly, who's pyromatic, uses flamethrowers, and when the Hood, the Arrow, took him down in that episode of, just sort of the burning club, it was a really cool episode, so I'd love to see that in the potential Batman series, because, I think it's also cool, because Firefly, like I said, is not like a super well-known Batman villain, but he has been featured in a few projects, such as, of course, Arrow and Gotham, so I think he's perfect for a streaming series, and, doesn't need a huge sort of lore in the movie, but I think, it's definitely a cool idea, in my opinion, so shout out to me for that. So one similarity I think would work for both Batman universes is to just have an established Batman. We don't need to see Batman's origin, but that may be a good flashback series, and the actor and actress I really want to see is Batman and Catwoman. I'm going to show off now, as some of you guys may have followed me on Instagram art, that that Alexa Nemi as Catwoman I think is super cool. I love this drawing, and I know she's sort of not as recognized an actress as I feel that she should be, because she has the perfect look and perfect vibe for Catwoman. I haven't seen Euphoria, but I don't know, from what I've seen from fan cast, it seems like she's a good pick for Catwoman, and I would love to see it, because, actors or actresses that don't get a ton of recognition could be perfect for this. I don't think we need all A-listers, but for Batman, I do want Bill Skarsgård as Batman. And by the way, Alex Aurelius, one of my good friends and music artists, he does not recognize this drawing as Bill, so let me know, guys, how I can improve it. And yeah, I think this Batsuit's super cool. It's sort of the best of both worlds. Has gray and black, which are cool colors, and why is his hair white, platinum blonde? Because I wanted to preserve my black colored pencils for even more dark drawings, so, just deal with it, I guess. But Alex did say he recognizes Alexa as Catwoman, which I think is super cool, and I love the little cigarette I gave her. I think it's funny. And one thing I do want to see in this series is maybe, I don't know what time frame that the Batman would take place in, or, this is really confusing. This is why we need a Batman series and a Batman movie universe separate, but the Batman series I feel like would probably be best to take place in sort of modern day era, because I don't know if Robert Pattinson's Batman, I feel like it took place in the 90s, I heard, but it also seemed like it took place in the 2020s. I don't know, but either all, if both happen in the same time frame, that's totally a-okay with me, but we do need a lot of differences. And one thing I think would be perfect difference would be to have an episode of the DCU Batman series be eccentricated and focused on the Riddler himself. We don't really need Penguin, because we have a Penguin series already. We don't need 50 million Penguins, in my opinion. Not that Penguin's not cool, but I think Riddler's a great villain, and I want to see some references to the 95 Batman Forever movie, because Jim Carrey's Riddler was super cool, but can't say the same for Two-Face, or at least I've heard. I haven't seen the movie in a while. I saw it as a kid, and every Batman movie I saw as a kid I thought was amazing, even Batman and Robin, so naturally, I can't really judge Tommy Lee Jones' Two-Face, but I do want to see Andrew Garfield as Two-Face in DCU's Batman series. And last thing I'll say on the DCU Batman series is I do want to see these villains, as well as see them in the Matt Reeves Batman universe, but it's kind of these drawings I created sort of similar to that, because it's sort of a gray area for his Batman. It's sort of a mix of the comic book Batman and the Nolan Batman. So going a little depth of these villains, there's Bane, Talon, Penguin, Riddler, Poison Ivy, who I think will be in the Batman 2, which I'm excited for. Mad Hatter, which I think would work perfectly for a comic book Batman and Matt Reeves' Batman universe. Catwoman, of course, but this is based on the Batman one, not the potential Alexa Demi as Catwoman. And here we have Mr. Freeze. I think the perfect way to conclude the first DCU Batman Brave and the Bold movie would be a shot of him and Superman together, World's Finest, which would be a great season one, the Batman series finale, a World's Finest Batman and Superman team up. I don't want Superman to take too much show light from Batman, because Superman I think would make a great character for a cinematic universe for the predominantly of the DCU, since we have another Batman and I keep going back and forth between Batman and the Batman. But until then, I can't wait to see whatever happens with the Batman and Batman DCU. So if it ends up being a cinematic universe 2, cinematic universes 1, fine with me. But until then, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys like this vlog. To conclude, I think we should get a Batman streaming series, and one of the episodes focused on Firefly and one focused on Riddler, with a conclusion of a World's Finest. I want Bill Skarsgård as Batman and Alexa Demi as Catwoman. Until then, thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned more soon. Goodbye.